This is Jaime Rivera from Pocketnow.com, and we're here at the Sony booth. We're going to look and make a comparison of the whole Xperia line that it's going to be released this year. We've got the Xperia S here, which is the flagship smartphone. We've got the Xperia P, which was recently announced, and we've got the Xperia U also. We already know the hands-on. You guys already know the specs. Let's just make a full comparison with other flagship smartphones. So let's start with the Xperia S. This is your top-of-the-line phone. It's going to be available in Barcelona as of tomorrow, actually. So this is locked, so anyways. But let's compare it initially with the Xperia P. Obviously, this is all HD, absolutely everything. This is pretty much QHD display, 8-megapixel camera. We've got a 12-megapixel camera here. So if we look at the phones, obviously the S is a little taller. It's definitely a little, let's see, they're actually almost the same width, we could say. You look at them from an angle at the top. Obviously, the P has new technologies like the white magic that you don't see at the S yet, but obviously this compensates with HD in just about everything that it has. So this, again, if you have to choose between both of them, it'll have to do with your taste. Obviously, this is more entitled for full power users, though the P is no slug. I mean, it could definitely play the same cards in comparison to the S. If we definitely compare the S to, let's talk about the U. The U is like your entry-level Sony smartphone. It's a beautiful display. Obviously, it's small. A lot of people are out there for small phones, so this probably would bring you the same Sony Xperia experience, only definitely with not the same size. So definitely a dwarf in comparison with the S. If we compare it with the P, obviously also a dwarf right there. But again, it's your perfect entry-level smartphone for kids or just about any way to start with Sony. Obviously, in my personal opinion, I like any of them. It'll only depend on your preference. Obviously, again, all pretty much the same width. Definitely, yeah. And again, the height. And now let's compare these with, obviously, the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, your flagship Android smartphone. The Galaxy Nexus is huge by comparison, but if you compare it with the Xperia S, I'd call this the perfect size. My problem with the Galaxy Nexus is the screen is actually too tough to touch. My hands are big and I still have problems, but if you notice with the Xperia S, it's not that complicated. We'll have a full review soon for you to compare them. Obviously, you could consider the Galaxy Nexus to be thinner, but remember the hump at the bottom? It's kind of a little bit of a tough way to compare, but I'd consider them almost the same. We could probably try the Galaxy Nexus compared with the U.
We could all stack them up together.
Let's try to do that. Let's just see. There we go, a dwarf. Obviously, a little thinner. Let's try with the P. Obviously taller. But again, the Galaxy Nexus tries to show that it's thinner, not the same case. We were able to compare the iPhone 4S with the P at the keynote. Obviously, almost the same height. We were able to see that the TrueView technology on the Xperia P was much better than the screen resolution on the iPhone 4S with the whites, though the thickness, we'll notice, pretty much the same. Let's see with the Xperia S, sorry. Almost the same thickness. iPhone 4S is a little bit thinner, but not that big of a deal. And then let's go with the U. Obviously, the U is going to be, the iPhone 4S is a tad taller than the U. Obviously, a little bit wider. Thickness-wise, almost the same deal. And then obviously the Galaxy S2 that almost everybody has. Not our favorite phone, too plasticky. If we would compare build quality with the Xperia line and then with the Samsung flagship smartphones, I'd go with the Xperia line, definitely on build quality. The same, almost the same height, a little taller on the Xperia S. Obviously a little bit, I don't know if that could be shown on camera, but a little bit thinner. But again, plasticky, great build quality. It's a no-brainer. Almost pretty much the same height, thickness-wise, again. And then obviously, let's go with the U. A dwarf in comparison with the Galaxy S2. Taller, obviously, a little thicker. So again, finalizing, what's your next smartphone? Will it be the S? Will it be the P? Will the Sony Xperia line be worth it for you? In our comparison, honestly, going through the past build quality from Sony, I wasn't a big fan of the Xperia Play, a little too plasticky, but the new Xperia line definitely proves to have a lot of really great build quality, a lot of great specs out there. I'm not considering it a catch-up. I actually consider the phones to be quite compelling. We saw something really good in the hands-on over yesterday's show. We would recommend the Xperia line. Thank you very much, Tony on camera. Lucian, the coffee was great. Thank you very much.